The LUX Grand Gaube is undeniably a beautiful resort in the idyllic north of Mauritius. Their brand is meant to celebrate life in the tropics with a retro-chic spin on luxury. And while that is evident, they also do tend to get a little bit caught up with their own shtick. By the way, today's video, like all of my videos, has a score relative to the price that I paid, and that price is in the description below. Let me welcome any of you that might be new to the channel. My name is Kevin. I'm here to give you a self-funded and honest look at some of the best and some of the not so best airlines and hotels in the world, which I've been bringing to you full-time for the past 4 years. Check out my hundreds of videos, scan the QR code, or click the link in the description to learn more about how I do things. Let's get into the tour. Welcome to the drop-dead gorgeous island nation of Mauritius, in the far, far south of the Indian Ocean. If you've never heard of the country, allow me to provide a helpful map. Don't worry, we'll get into more detail about that in a little bit. Lux Hotels, or Lux Star Hotels, I'm just going to call it Lux, is Mauritius's homegrown hotel group. And so when I was planning my trip to the island, I knew how I wanted to select my 3 resorts to film. One should be mainstream premium. For that, we're going to see the Intercontinental. One should be something truly different that you're not going to find anywhere else. For that, we have the heritage Le Telfair coming up. And last, one should be a Lux property. And so here we are at the LUX Grand Gaube. When you arrive, you'll be guided into the Welcome Pavilion, which has tiny reception desks to the right, and the beach to the front, and many of the resort's facilities to the left. I think they're retro chic, a little bit boho, a little bit colonial. I think that design is spot on for the island, both in how they describe themselves and how it actually looks and feels in person. Currently, Lux has 19 resorts. 4 are here in Mauritius, 1 each in the Maldives, Reunion, Zanzibar, and Botswana, 2 in the UAE, and 9 in China, with 3 more on the way. It's, how shall we say, one of the stranger mixes of resort locations that I've seen for a group of this size. They even have 1 more property in development in the far remote north of Phu Quoc in Vietnam. That property, though, will for some reason stand out with a different name, Lux Nam, and they're pushing it as Vietnam's first overwater resort, even though that's not really true. This is the family pool area, which is surrounded by 2 restaurants, the lounge bar and the family beach. I think it's a great layout, keeping everything tightly knit like this, knowing that aside from here, the property is fairly sprawling. Let's pause for a brief squall. Resort stays like this truly would not be possible without your support on Patreon. Hotel videos and flight videos simply earn money on YouTube in very different ways. So if you appreciate these kinds of unsponsored videos, please consider checking out my page. You can also help the channel continue to grow by liking this video and subscribing to the channel, or joining my YouTube channel memberships. Whatever you do, thanks for doing it. The primary beach here, which is for families, is an ideal size with a variety of seating options, along with Beach Rouge, one of their restaurants and beach club serving continental fare. The sand is very compact, with calm, milky turquoise waters perfect for kids of any age, and to keep them near, there's also an ice cream joint on the beach itself. Just behind the Crescent Beach is the first crescent of sorts of rooms, the block which my room was in. Let's take a closer look at where we are to make all of this make a bit more sense. So, zooming in a bit, Mauritius has 4 primary islands, with many other small uninhabited islands surrounding each of them. In total, the nation is around 790 square miles, or 2,000 square kilometers, around half the size of Rhode Island, or a bit larger than the Greater London area. The island of Mauritius itself is the largest and most populated. Today we're on the north coast, around a 90-minute drive from the airport in the southeast. Here we can see the resort, practically everything in the frame making for a fantastic view in every direction. Even rooms that are on the quote-unquote back of the resort still have water views. The area here is the family area, and now we're going to meander over to the adults only section, each of which has a block of rooms near. This is the small bay which the second crescent of rooms surrounds. The adult beach and pool is on the far side behind all of these rooms. This is the back of the resort that I was mentioning. On the way to the adults area, there's a bar truck as well as BB's Burger Shack, which has family and adults only sections. This is all adults only. Okay, let's go head back to the other side and take a look at my room. I booked this stay through Hyatt's Mr. and Mrs. Smith program tie-in, whatever you want to call it. I'm not sure I would go out of my way to book properties this way again. Hyatt Discoverists and Explorists have no benefits at these hotels, and globalists may get an early check-in, may get a late checkout, or may get a room upgrade subject to availability. In reality, none of that happened, and the staff didn't really seem to understand the partnership with Hyatt in the slightest. But it's all subject to availability, so I'm not docking them for it. I booked a standard king room. The rooms themselves are nicely decorated, and are quite long, making for a junior suite size if not feel. I have plenty of things to say about how beautiful this resort is, but I do also have 3 bones to pick. As I put up the extra bits, I'll briefly cover them. The first is, the check-in process is the definition of disarray. You'll be sat down near the cafe for the process. After waiting a while and drinking your lemongrass welcome beverage, someone will come over to check you in. They took my passport, credit card, normal stuff, and came back. They asked about the receipt and I asked to have it emailed. I had a few questions, and with each individual question, they needed to go back to the reception desk to get the answer. This happened like 5 times. Anyway, despite taking my credit card, they never actually charged me, nor did they put a hold on my card. Only weeks later did they send me an email asking for payment. What was done during my card during check-in, I have no idea, and they don't either. That said, 2 days after my stay here, I had fraudulent activity on my card. Not saying it was them, but also, well, you know. My second bone to pick, room cleanliness. There was nothing like gross dirty, but from the sweat stains on both chairs, to the constant parade of ants on the desk and at times on the bed, with a couple other visitors as well, to the half-rate paint job that they did in the room. It could just be a heck of a lot better. When the staff placed my bag in the room, they put it on that fold-out luggage stand, which had recently been repainted white. I didn't realize it until I checked out, but a hell of a lot of that paint rubbed off onto my bag, and till this day, I cannot get it off for the life of me. When you're in the room, avoid any of the super matte finish white paint. It will be obvious where it is. Lastly, and part of this is common with all European-style all-inclusives, is that even the staff can hardly keep track of how many different packages there are. Room only, breakfast, half board, full board, all-inclusive. Then if you are all-inclusive, not all restaurants are actually included, and some require a supplemental charge. The other part is the lack of restaurant availability. I know some of you disagree with this, that's fine, but I never book restaurants prior to arrival. The reason is very simple. I don't think most guests would do this, so I want to be able to report back to you about their process. Here, there's a specific desk that you need to go to near the lobby to make reservations. I did that during check-in, and they had 0 availability at any of their a la carte restaurants. Nada. So my choices were the buffet restaurant, which was around $70 or room service. Considering this is a standard room, the size and view from the balcony was fantastic. Let's check out some of the other facilities and venues. There's a really nice library behind the reception, which kind of leads to the spa and gym area, with tennis courts available for rent. For dinner, your options are, keep in mind not all of these are open every night. Your options are first up, Bodrum Blue, which serves Turkish Mediterranean. Near the family pool is Inti, which is the restaurant that's not included for all-inclusive guests. This spot serves Peruvian food and had a pisco bar inside as well. The $70 buffet at the Palm Court is also available. This is where breakfast will be. Finally, hidden behind the family pool is where I originally wanted to eat, the Creole Smokehouse. I was there on a Tuesday. I asked for reservations for it for that night and was told the next availability was on Saturday. Since I didn't have any restaurant reservation to be at, I decided to take in the sunset and some crab capoeira. In the end, I decided to just have a quiet night in with room service. I had the fried calamari and a chicken Caesar salad. The calamari, you'll notice some odd shapes in there, was horrible. Not only was the calamari like rubber and cut in far too large pieces, the batter must have had something like tapioca starch in it. It was gummy and just bizarre. 3 out of 10 on that. Luckily, the salad saved me here, with some punchy anchovies and capers for an 8.2 out of 10. The next morning, I headed to the Palm Court for breakfast. While I was there was no host or hostess, and everyone just sat themselves. At one point, I asked one of the servers to pay for breakfast, and he said, no, it's included. I said, no, I'm room only, and he repeated himself bluntly. Okay, you don't need to tell me twice that the food is free. The buffet spread was great with just about everything that you could want, including egg stations, a noodle soup station, an Indian station, and everything in between. So, service. When I was waiting for checkout, I overheard two couples talking about what they thought of the resort. One of them absolutely loved it, and the other said that it doesn't compare to the other LUX that they've been at, mainly because of the staff here feeling disconnected, and I couldn't agree more with that word. The service is not bad, but it's fairly hands-off and aloof. That said, breakfast was great, so I'm going to put it at a 7. In general, we had a bit of a mixed bag. It's a great resort overall. I like the concept, I love the location. I just wish they didn't try to overcomplicate their own policies and rates and the like. Maybe if they were simplified, the staff would have more time to smile. So I really do hope that you enjoyed this resort tour today. If you did, please be sure to click that like button and subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss out on my weekly resort and flight videos. I'll see you next time on Thai AirAsia. As always, thanks for watching until the end.